Hello everyone. Today it's more going to be an informative video to compare the hybrid vehicle to the plug-in hybrid vehicle and a little bit of the pure electric vehicle. Now I have been driving the Toyota Yaris hybrid for over a year and the Audi A3 e-tron for over 2 years now, and I just wanted to share with you my feelings about those two cars and also what you people should be aware of when you're considering hybrid cars or plug-in hybrid cars, or even electric vehicle, and also what are all those dirty secrets and myths that maybe you might be hearing about all those cars, which some are true, of course. Now we have a lot of different kinds of engines today. We have the natural gas engine, we have the diesel, the unleaded fuel, the mild hybrids, which are coming up, the hybrids, plug-in hybrids, electric vehicle, and of course hydrogen cars. So now that's getting a lot of different kinds of engines, and also that come at different price with some advantage and some inconvenience. Now, the most important question that you must ask yourself, of course, is which car should I buy? If you don't want to have any kind of problems, with the range, well, you buy a diesel, a natural gas, or unleaded fuel engine. Now, with all that is, what is all happening in the world now, especially when you talk about environment, the government are putting some pressures on the consumers, but also on the manufacturers. So that's why, for example, we have more and more hybrid cars, electric cars, etc. And why also they try to, and also some features like the stop and start on normal cars. And that's also why the states are trying to push people to buy those kind of cars, so they try to consume less. But I'm wondering if all that is not a misconception and some people not having a good comprehension of the situation. I'm not sure that it's good to force people to drive other cars, like eco-friendly, environmental friendly cars, but that is what they make you think. I'm not sure that in reality that is the case. So when you buy cars, you need to think, first of all, for yourself and locally, citywide, but also global. So of course, petrol engine cars are not good at all locally, and worldwide you have a lot of noise, you have the smell, you have the emissions, and all this kind of stuff. Now when you and of course, so you use some petrol, but we don't have any problem for you to find a petrol station, so it's extremely practical. Now if you go into standard hybrid cars like the Toyota Yaris hybrid, for example, so this is a good start because you do not need to care about charging the car. It will charge itself automatically when needed. When you are driving, you can have less fuel emission, less consumption, less noise, and a little bit more comfort. Not a lot, but a little bit more. And of course you can have some insurance reduction, the lower taxes and lower insurance prices when you buy those kind of cars. So, and also the difference of price is not much. We are talking about 2,000 or 3,000 Swiss francs of difference between the standard one and the hybrid one, which is not a lot. So in a couple of years, in 5 years, you can easily get your money back, let's say. But you gotta stay with the car like 5 years in order for you to do that, and you need to drive. If you don't drive, well, you are losing money, which is quite strange. Now this is for the hybrid vehicle. Now for the plug-in hybrid vehicle, this is something completely different. You have the two worlds in just one car. You have the fuel engine, and you have the electric engine, which can run for between 30 and 60 kilometers on a single charge, depending on the cars and on your way of driving. It's more on 40 kilometers, but you don't have to be anxious about like for normal hybrid cars. You don't need to be anxious on I need to find a place to charge the car, otherwise I'm going to run out of battery and I'm going to have a problem. So you don't have this kind of problem, and you have the power of the fuel engine, you have the torque of the electric engine, you have the range, you have everything. You have the best of the two worlds, but you also have the worst of the two worlds. You have the standard and normal failures of the wear and tear of an fuel engine, and you have also the wear and tear of the electric engine plus the battery. This is extremely important because the battery is one of the most expensive piece of a plug-in hybrid vehicle or a electric vehicle. It's the most expensive that you can have, and if you have some problems, well, it's quite costly. So fortunately, the manufacturers, they have like for Audi, for example, they have an 8-year warranty or 160,000 kilometers warranty, but of course they are smart. They will only, for example, replace the whole battery if there is a known problem with them, or if you lost more than, I don't know, let's say 30% of your battery capacity. Every year your car is going to lose around 2% of its battery capacity. So in 10 years, it will go maybe, or 8 years, 10 years, it will be around, if everything goes well, 20% less. Only. I mean only because it means that the car manufacturer, is not obliged to replace the battery, but now you've paid a car so expensive and you cannot replace the battery. Or if you replace it, it's on your own, and it is expensive. Now, the plug-in hybrids are the most expensive car you can find on the market because as you have those two worlds, well, you have double maintenance, you have yes, you have double maintenance, and as you have everything that is double when you buy the car, it's of course more expensive. So for the Audi A3 e-tron, between the basic model and the e-tron version, there is 8,000 Swiss francs of difference, and even if you have insurance and taxes reduction, that is still a lot of money that is spent, and you need to try to get this money back. Unfortunately, in order to have this money back, you have to drive most of the time in the electric mode, and you have to drive it a lot, because otherwise you will not have any real difference. You will just have something that you paid a lot, but not having something in return. That's why when you buy plug-in hybrid vehicles, it's more of a state of mind. When you're going to say, locally in my city, in my neighborhood, I am going to emit less emission or no emission at all. I am going to make less noise, less visual problems, when you have the smoke coming out of the tailpipes, for example. So less smell, less noise, less visual pollution, and more comfort for everyone. So this is something that most people who buy this car, those kind of cars, it's because they have something, deep inside. They would like to do some environmental friendly gesture for the city, for themselves. Because of course, when you drive electric cars, first of all, you are showing off, because when you have people inside, oh my God, your car is not making noise, it's so comfortable, which is true. When you're stuck in traffic, you're not polluting, and you feel less stressed. And of course, well, when you wake up in the morning and drive your car, you're not going to wake up your neighbors because you have the electric engine. So this is why I love those kind of cars, because you have everything, but it is expensive. Also, when you buy a used car from a garage, or even in a private person, you need to ask for the battery degradation rate. Do not buy a used electric or plug-in hybrid car without asking for the battery degradation. I'm not sure if they can, a paper, a proof that the battery is still in a good condition. because if you lose because there is a problem on the battery, even if it's under warranty, actually we don't care if it is under warranty or not, you don't want to have a car which is expensive, even in a second-hand car, and actually you don't have the best user experience on this car, because this is not good for yourself, because you're going to go to the garage, you're going to say to people that those kind of cars are not good, are not worth it, I made a mistake, everything. So always ask for battery degradation for used cars at any time. I wouldn't buy an electric hybrid or plug-in hybrid car that is more than 4 years, or maybe more also than let's say 50 or 60,000 kilometers, just because of this battery problem. I wouldn't care for a normal fuel engine. 60,000, 50,000, 5 years is not a lot. It still can work well. You just need to do the standard maintenance. But for this battery part, this is something very expensive that you need to take into consideration. So in terms of pollution, well, that's just a good car. You have everything. Now, of course, when you have you don't have the anxious problem, as I said, that you need to charge the car, but you should charge the car every day, especially if you want to get, I'm gonna say, your money back. And only take this kind of cars if you have a free public charger or a charger at home. Do not buy if you are only going to rely on paid public chargers, because, for example, here in Geneva, it is a complete rip-off. The price, the price that are selling the electricity is just too high. You cannot. It's not a good choice. You are better off taking a fuel engine car. You need to buy the car if you have a home, charger, or you have the possibility to have one. Well, then you can buy the plug-in hybrid. If you don't have, just don't bother with it. It will be more of a headache than anything else. You will not enjoy your experience. Now, for the pure electric vehicles, well, of course, those can be as expensive or less expensive. Of course, it depends. It depends on the, of course, the model. For example, but the Tesla Model 3, for example, is as expensive as the A3 e-tron, but you are purely on an electric vehicle, which is comfortable, which is a lot of options and everything. So the price are quite similar, but also only buy this kind of cars if you have a charger at home, but a charger at home which is powerful enough, because electric cars, they have a big battery, and if you only use the standard home charger, you will need 3 days to charge a car, which is, well, not really practical or possible. I'm not going to dive into electric cars really, because we all know there's no big difference. You have a big battery, you have some kind of range. People don't want this car because they're saying it's not the future, because you need, like, even on superchargers, you have to let it for 30 minutes, and people cannot. If you talk to people today, for them it's impossible to wait at a gas station or electric station when they are doing a trip to stay half an hour. For them, it's not possible. We are too much accustomed to, you just put some fuel in 2 minutes and everything is done. Thank you, bye-bye, and now I'm back on the road. But this 30 minutes, when you have to drive 500 kilometers, this 30 minutes, is this really a lot for your health? Because you need to stop to go to the bathroom, you have to eat, you have, to do this kind of stuff to take a break. So half an hour is not that much, but I think it's just because we're way too much accustomed to this way of driving and living. Time is money. We don't have time to spend on 30 minutes charging when you have to go to maybe to a client 400 kilometers away. So that is something to keep in mind. But anyway, for city Now, which car should you take? If you don't want to bother about anything but have to have some benefits with the taxes, just take a hybrid car. Don't bother. If you have the infrastructure at home and you are mostly doing city driving, take a plug-in hybrid. You will be most of the time on electricity. The price of electricity is less expensive than fuel, at least here in Switzerland. And you will have a nice experience of all this. And if you ever need to make a 1,000 kilometer trips, well, just kick in the fuel engine and you are good to go. And you will have a better fuel efficiency for long trips anyway. And of course, well, for the complete electric vehicle stuff, well, you know, if you like electric stuff, just buy an electric vehicle. You just need to have the infrastructure. But now, just to finish, what is the inconvenience, the dirty secrets of those of all those electric cars? There is a big one. As I said, locally, taking hybrids, plug-in hybrid, hydrogen, electric vehicle cars, they are perfect for you, for your neighborhood, and for your city. In any way, it is good, it's undeniable, there is no discussion about it. Now, concerning globally, now this is where the problem is. The problem resides on, well, you need to extract the different minerals from Earth. You need to build the battery and to ship the battery. So there's a lot of gray pollution, gray energy going around those kind of cars. You already have them in normal cars. Now imagine that you have to do the same for electric cars, or for the worst of the worst, plug-in hybrid cars. You have all the fuel engine parts as usual, but you need to build the battery and the electric engine, and you need to move all those parts all around the world, because you know that there are a lot of fabrics everywhere doing the different parts for a car, and then they're shipping them to the assembly factory. And this is some people that they are not aware, or maybe they're aware and they don't care, but they think that they are driving something good, but we don't know if an electric car or a plug-in hybrid car or a hybrid car is really less polluting in overall, in the big picture. Is it really less polluting? This, I don't know, because you have a lot of parts. You need to also to take to dig the earth, to take the minerals, to ship the parts and everything. That's a lot of pollution. And of course, what is going to happen for the power plants? Now there is a big thing in Europe, maybe in the States too, but I'm not even sure in the States, but in Europe they want to get rid of the nuclear power plants. But what are we going to take? Now, Germany, for example, I think that they took off a nuclear power plant, but they went back to coal power plants. That's a nonsense for the environment. So, and if everyone starts to have an electric car, plug-in hybrid car, what is going to happen for the power plants? Do we need more? Do we need to try to stop people, you know, charging everyone at the same time? How is this going to be regulated? Because we cannot have, you know, an infinite numbers of power plants. So maybe we will try to say that people have to charge the cars at night, because we still have the same amount of electricity produced, but no one is using it because no one is sleeping. So this electricity could go for the electric cars. So this is one problem. It's all this creation of electricity, which is the problem. The creation of the batteries, their shipping, their maintenance, and their recycling. What should we do when the owner of the car will say, I do not have enough range anymore, it's degraded, please change my battery. I'm not even sure that people will actually go with battery replacement themselves, because they are extremely expensive, and when this will happen, your car will have actually no worth on the market. So you might just get off, you know, selling it to the garage and buy another one. So all those people that are skeptical, for the how do you say, for the electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles, well, they're kind of right. Actually, there is this big problem that we need to figure out, and maybe we will take, maybe there will be baby steps into finding the correct solution. Actually, electric cars or plug-in hybrid cars are only good if the electricity going to the battery is from natural sources, like the sun, or maybe, you know, hydroelectric power plants, but maybe not nuclear power plants or coal power plants. And also the materials for the battery is maybe not the best one. But the lithium batteries are maybe not the best for those kind of applications. Maybe we need to have some better batteries which can give us more power with less capacity, and which you can recycle different components. So, well, that's it. That's my thoughts on those cars, on everything that is going around us today concerning, you know, cars. And if you have maybe think that I've said something wrong, just feel free to comment in the comment section, or if you have some question, well, feel free to ask. Bye bye.